What up? Welcome back once again to the Necro Zoo. Of course, I am Bones. And in this one, we're going to do a little collection video just because I've been working on my shelves. So let's go ahead and take a look at them now. If you've watched a lot of my videos, you've noticed that up here behind me on top, I always had the Batman collection, the Strange Lives of Batman. Now, I'd never opened it, so I went ahead and popped it open. Now, inside it has that clear, like, outer sleeve to the packaging. And then once you pull off that outer plastic sleeve, you have the figures inside their little plastic casings. And then you have like a little slot on top that has, you lift it up and it has the accessories in there. Now I do own two of these. One I have stored away, but it's mint. It's never been opened and it never will be. But I wanted to get these figures out because they're going to go on one of the little shelf tiers that I built. So I went ahead and opened it up. Now, of course, this was from Mattel. It's more based on the last run from Mattel. Actually, pretty nice figures. They're like pinless figures, so that's something I always appreciated from Mattel towards the end of the run. All in all, really cool to finally get these in my hand and check them out and get them up on the shelf. Now, this series is more like classic Batman from the old school comics from like the 40s and 50s. There was more like a sci-fi Batman, which was pretty cool. You do get a couple accessories like this like rope that Batman had. I don't know if he's like swinging on it, but it was like a little black rope. I'll just keep this around. You never know when you might need it. Then you also had this old beard that actually these connect to the figures, like their lower part of their faces like pop off. All of them do, and you could put these wherever you want. Like you put them onto the lower part and they snap in there, which was a pretty cool little gimmick that they did. Then you have an alternate head, like an alien head, which of course has to be from one of those strange, weird adventures from back in the day, from Batman and Robin. Then you have this like little mouthpiece part that I think it's supposed to be like a robotic Batman. Actually, it's a pretty nice little accessory. You never know when you could use this. I mean, I usually keep a box full of fodder stuff that I just use to make customs and stuff like that, but I'll hold on to that for now. And then you also get an alternate unmasked Batman, Bruce Wayne. Never really see this head around a lot in, you know, in a lot of people's collections and stuff, but what I'm thinking is I think these Batmans, the buck body is based on the Dick Grayson Batman that they did on the final wave of Mattel. And actually that's a interchangeable head figure that has like unmasked Dick Grayson and then it has Batman. So what I'll probably end up doing is getting an extra one of those and popping off the head and then popping this Bruce Wayne head on there and then repainting the Batman a little bit, probably like a darker blue, just so it would look more, you know, Batman-ish. And I was looking at the cape and I was like, well, if I do paint it, the cape's not going to match. But I do have this old scrap cape that I took off of the Superfiends Batman. So this is probably the blue that I'll put on that figure to match the cape, and then I'll pop this Bruce Wayne head on there, and then I'll have another little like custom figure next to these guys up there on the shelf. Pretty cool idea. Now let's take a quick look at these guys. You do have the old school Batman. I really wanted to get this figure in hand and on the shelf. I don't know why, I just like him. He's pretty awesome. The color scheme. Not a big fan of cloth capes or soft good capes. I just don't really enjoy them a lot of times. I mean, if they're made well, it's nice. But these kind of look a little cheap to me. But since that's the way they came, that's the way I'm going to leave it. But really beautiful looking Batman. Like I said, you can pop off the the lower face, if you want to trade out one of those other little parts that he comes with, which is a pretty cool little idea. Don't really see that being used anymore. And then you have Negative Batman, which actually, this is another really nice one. The reason being because it's hard to tell, but if you look up, a lot of his parts, like the head and the hands, the arms, are translucent black. So if you put it up into the light, you could actually see like through it a little bit, which is a really nice little touch. Real cool figure there. Then you have Zebra Batman, really obscure, out there character design, but really happy to finally have him in hand and get him up there in the collection. And then you have Rainbow Batman, which even though it's rainbow, it looks kind of funny, but it's a really nice figure, nicely painted. I love the head paint that they did. It's really nice. So he's gonna go up there on the shelf. Pretty sweet. Now up on the shelf, that's this shelf here, and of course at the very top I have all of my Mattel Multiverse figures. When I was looking at it, when I was getting ready to make this video, I noticed that I don't have spoiler, so I'm gonna go ahead and order that right away so I could get her up there with the rest of the Mattel Multiverse that I have up there. And then you move down and I have my 2-packs, which are all the 2-packs from the DC Universe Classics. You have tons of them in there. Of course you have Superman and Mongol. You have Lex Luthor and Supergirl. You have the Azrael from back in the day and the Batgirl. You have Batman and Robin. Tons and tons of packs that came in 2 from the DC Universe Classics. You have Orion and Light Ray, which is a pretty rare set. I do have the last ones that I picked up from there was the Color of Fear, which is that Yellow Lantern girl. I always forget her name. And the Yellow Lantern, the alien one. Pretty cool. She comes with like her little construct dog. I think she's supposed to have 3, but she only comes with 1. But it's pretty cool. But really cool set up there, all the 2-packs that I have. And then you go down to the next shelf and it's all the 5-packs, which was another thing that DC Universe Classics did. They put out a couple of 5-packs, the Injustice, the Lanterns, Gotham City. And then also I have a couple of sets that were about 5 figures, like the Public Enemies. And then at the very tail end of the run, they did like a DC superpowers kind of superheroes set that had that pretty freaky gold Superman, the Wonder Woman in her like yellow, and then that weird Green Lantern, Riddler, and of course Batman and Superman. Another cool little set. And then it came with also Mr. Metzoplex was another one. So really happy to have that shelf completed. So now I built another shelf on the bottom, and in that one at the very top I put like a Super Friends run, which all these figures I already have like displayed, but I bought them again just to make like a little Super Friends shelf. I don't know where that started. I think it was when Mattel put out that Batman, Superman, Aquaman, and Green Lantern that was like a Super Friends pack, which is where I got that little like display board thing of the Super Friends. But one thing I did do in that one is I changed the capes from Batman and Superman because, like I said, wasn't a big fan of the cloth capes that had like that neck thing around, that around their neck that like you plugged into their neck. I just thought it looked clumpy, and I just prefer plastic capes, so I switched them out. Little custom work on both of those. But I do also have the Aquaman. Who else is up there? Robin, the Flash, Hawkman. And the only 2 villains I have is I have Lex Luthor on one side in his like Super Friends getup, and on the other side I have a pretty cool Black Manta that actually is two parts. It's the purple one that came in the 2-pack, but I pulled off the head, the whole head apparatus, and I put the actual one from the black Manta. So it's a little bit different than any other of the Manta figures you're gonna see. Mine's just a little bit different. I think the only thing I'd really like to do is get one of those like tall, skinny Sinestros that I think he's like in blue and silver, and paint it like a little bit more of that gray, like from the Super Friends, and put him up there on the shelf. So I'll make a little bit of room for him if I ever end up doing that little custom. And then once you move down to the next little tier, it's my Manhunter Display. And of course it has all the Manhunters that I have. I tried to like army build those, but I only ended up getting, I think I have 6 of them. But eventually I'd like to have 5 on each side. That way it's 10. And then these Hal Jordan lanterns that I have are extra ones, because I do have them in the sets where they're supposed to go, but these are just extra ones that I acquired. So I didn't know what to do with them, so I went ahead and put them up there on that Manhunter Display. Pretty cool. And then moving down to the very first, the front of the shelf, I'm going to have the San Diego Comic-Con, but Sea of, what is it? Between the Sea of Doom or something like that. They had another different Black Manta figure, the Ocean Master, and then the Aquaman. So that's going to be part of the shelf, and then I'm going to put these 4 up there like after those. So that's going to be a nice, another little display shelf that I have. Like I said, once I do that custom Batman body for the Bruce Wayne head, I'm going to put that figure up there with these 4. But all in all, it's going to look pretty nice for display here in the office. So just a really quick video to show that off. I'm going to start reviewing the Justice League figures and then customizing, painting them. So it's going to be pretty fun. So I'll try and do the review, and then the next day the next review, and then at the same time I'll try and do the paint of the first figure that I reviewed. That so that let's say I do Aquaman first, and then I'm going to do Flash, and then after the Flash I'll do the Aquaman but like repainted, and then I'll do Cyborg, and then I'll do the Flash but like customized painted. So it's gonna be pretty busy, besides, you know, work and other stuff that make me procrastinate a lot. I'll try and get those videos out, but you guys keep hunting out there, keep collecting, keep customizing, and I will see you guys on the next one.